Hi there, my name is Kaili Wormington, and I'm a child and youth counselor on the Family Resource Team here at Open Doors for Lanark Children and Youth. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about co-regulation as a parenting strategy. Co-regulation is a response that is warm and interactive. It provides coaching, modeling, and supportive statements and actions to help children understand and express their feelings and behaviors. I'm sure you've heard people talk a lot about self-regulation for children, but today we're going to kind of take it one step back and look at co-regulation as a whole. In the early years of a child's life, their capacity for self-regulation is very limited. When parents practice co-regulation with their children, they are, in turn, facilitating the development of self-regulation. In order for a child to learn how to regulate or calm their own emotions, they must first have support and help from a trusted adult to kind of guide them through those big emotions that they experience. It takes two. Co-regulation involves you and your child. You're working as a team during moments of dysregulation or distress to bring your child back to a calmer, happier state. There are a few different things that you as a parent will be doing while practicing co-regulation with your child. The first one is attunement. Attunement is a strategy that parents are constantly using, even if you don't realize it. Attuning to your child's needs is part of co-regulation. You're kind of being a feelings detective to investigate the lead up to that dysregulation, as well as paying attention to their body cues, changes in their moods or behavior, and that's all a part of attunement. The next one is model emotional regulation. As hard as it can be when your child is distressed, one of the most important things that you can do is keep your cool. Modeling emotional regulation not only helps your child come back down to a calmer state by mirroring, it also helps build on safety and security. When you respond in a calm, nurturing tone, your child is more likely to feel safe and secure in their emotions. Next, managing the environment before dysregulation. So you're kind of ensuring that there are clear, consistent, and predictable routines and expectations because that can help lower stress levels in your child, thus creating a calmer and more predictable emotional state. When your child is dysregulated, continue with managing the environment to ensure that safety as well as those consistent and clear expectations. For example, if your child is hitting you because they're upset, in a calm tone, you can say, I can see you're feeling upset right now, but I can't have you hitting me. So, still managing those clear expectations and boundaries with your child. Lastly, label, acknowledge, and validate your child's emotions. This will not only help them feel seen, heard, and accepted, but it will also help them bring awareness to their emotions and help build their emotional vocabulary. When it comes to parental responses during times of dysregulation, a co-regulation approach encourages parents to approach children with a warm, calming presence and tone of voice rather than yelling or shame. It also involves verbal acknowledgement of distress to again bring awareness and build their emotional vocabulary. Instead of rescuing your child from their frustration, allow them to experience and feel it. Lastly, instead of dismissing your child by walking away or putting them in a timeout, co-regulation encourages you as a parent to be physically present by using a time-in approach. This doesn't have to be playing together during dysregulation because that can be really hard as a parent. But even just being in the same room as your child while they're upset or while they're trying to calm down is an example of a time in. There are many benefits to co-regulation and what it teaches children long term. A few different things co-regulation teaches your child includes how to gain control over their body and manage their emotions, that they can trust the adults in their world to take care of them, that their needs and their preferences matter, and it also promotes critical thinking and problem-solving skills. One thing to remember as parents is that when we're practicing co-regulation, we don't need to be perfect. We are all human. Allowing ourselves to make those mistakes and allowing space to make mistakes in front of our children makes a really safe environment to learn. We won't always be able to keep our cool during our child's dysregulation. That's just kind of the reality. As parents, when we aren't able to self regulate, instead of ignoring it, choose to have an open conversation about it. Name it to tame it is one of my favorite lines. It's okay for parents to make mistakes, and when we own up to them, it teaches children that mistakes happen and that's life. When we, as parents, make a mistake during a moment of dysregulation, call it out. Some examples could include I felt frustrated and I yelled and I didn't use one of my strategies. I'm sorry. This shows your child that accountability and apologizing are very important, that it's safe to make a mistake and it's also safe to own up to these mistakes. You could also say something like, next time I feel upset, I will work on taking 5 deep breaths before I speak. What calming strategies do you want to try when you feel upset? This helps our children with self reflection. It teaches them that when we do make mistakes, we need to look at what we could change for next time. It also helps them develop those problem solving skills by showing them exactly how to problem solve after making a mistake. More examples of things you could do while practicing co regulation include offering to help problem solve and manage a big emotion. So, saying something like, I can see you're getting upset because the toy isn't working the way you want it to. Why don't we take a break and find a different toy to play with? You could use physical connection as a way to co regulate, offer a hug for deep pressure or to rub their back. Physical connection can regulate their nervous system quicker than non physical stimuli. Also, acknowledge that and validate the way that they're feeling. That must have really upset you, or you're feeling so upset right now. You could model a strategy and encourage them to join in with you. I kind of love to talk about playfulness during this time because it's a perfect way to kind of sneak it in. So if your child's feeling dysregulated, try suggesting and modeling a playful strategy. Something like an example could include, let's stomp out that anger monster. And then you would stomp, stomp, stomp. We don't want you here anger and make it really playful and fun. And sometimes just doing that can lighten up the mood. It also helps with sensory output. Like I said, it brings a lightheartedness to the situation and gets them using a strategy. If playfulness doesn't work with your child, just sitting with your legs crossed and modeling deep breathing can be enough. Get them to stand in front of you and watch you take deep breaths, then slowly and calmly encourage them to join in with you. You could also be just physically present with them. When children are dysregulated, they need to feel safe and secure. If we remain physically in the space with them, the safety and security doesn't feel so threatened as it might when we leave them to their own devices to calm down. Something you could do is offer physical connection as a strategy, and if they decline, sit in the room with them and be present. Let them know that you're there for them once they're ready to talk or able to talk or they want to hug or to take some deep breaths. Try not to be distracted during this time by phones or books or screens. Show your child that you are present and will be present for them when they're ready. And that is all from me today. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something valuable today that you might want to bring into your parenting approach, a strategy that you might want to try out, whether that's just one thing or a few different things that you're going to try. I'm so happy to hear. If you are interested in learning more parenting strategies or further learning about co-regulation, please call us. We do offer single sessions to discuss strategies, resources, tips, and tricks with the family resource team for parents, as well as services for children and youth, depending on what the need is. So our contact information is on the screen, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.